And our chief international correspondent, Lise Doucet, joins me again in the studio. Lise, we were speaking a little earlier, weren't we, about the hopes, the possibilities of a diplomatic solution. Let's just pick up with that and talk about that a little bit more.
Well, everyone is on tenterhooks. Certainly there's a lot of telephone calls going on between many capitals. That includes capital in the region of the Gulf states like Saudi Arabia, United Arab Emirates, Qatar, who very much want to avoid an escalation in the region. And all-out war in Iran is so close to them geographically, right across the waterway. Western capitals are also really concerned. They've all called for a de-escalation, even as they say Israel has a right to defend itself. There will be this meeting in Geneva tomorrow of the Iranians, the Germans, the British, the French. But bear in mind, it really does come down to one president, and that is President Trump, as we've been reporting. And everyone is waiting to see what he will decide to do. Well, how is it viewed from Tehran? We can cross to the Iranian capital now and join Dr. Saeed Khatibzadeh, who is the Deputy Foreign Minister of Iran. Thank you very much for joining us here on BBC News.
Thank you very much. Thank you for giving me this opportunity.
President Trump is reported to have approved a military plan. He hasn't made a decision yet whether to join the war. What are you expecting in Tehran?
Actually, we are under attack. You know that an act of aggression has happened, please. You know, we were in the middle of diplomacy. You remember that we were together in Oslo when we were planning to have the 6th round of nuclear talks in Muscat, and we were actually on the verge of reaching to an agreement. That all of a sudden Israelis decided to start an act of aggression against Iran and move on offense on Iran, and definitely to sabotage and to sabotage the whole process. There are debates inside Iran right now. We don't know exactly because the messages that we are receiving from Americans, backdoor messages, are that we were not involved, we are not involved, and we are not going to be involved. But the messages that are on public, we are receiving through President Trump's tweets and his interviews, though they are very much confusing and contradictory, but they are very much indicating that Americans have been aware, they have participated, actually they have supported this. So
what are the backdoor? You mentioned the backdoor messages. President Trump says that the Iranians are telling him they want to come to the White House, they want to negotiate. What are you hearing from Washington, and what are you saying in return?
No, it has been clear. All the responsible authorities in Iran has said that we have not sent this message. We have not contacted White House, though we have been contacted through different channels from the other side of the Atlantic. From the first hours of the aggression started by Israelis, they contacted us and they said that top American have sent these messages through Europeans and through some of the leaders in the region that they have not been involved and they don't want to be involved.
But what else have they told you? Do they say there is a way out? There is a way out of an escalating war? What is your your option?
Look, Liz. What's happening right now is an act of aggression. We are under attack.
Let's look at the way there's been 7 days of each country attacking each other. Today,
No, we are not attacking each other. We are defending ourselves.
But you are also striking Israel. Today, you actually hit a hospital, a civilian hospital, as you were aiming for a military target. Is there a way to end this war?
Look, Liz, try to not be biased when you are the mainstream media in Western, hemisphere are trying to cover it up, what they are doing, the atrocities and this genocidal regime. They started a war on Iran. They attacked us. They attacked our hospitals. Numbers of Iranian civilians, hundreds of Iranian civilians have been up until now killed, and they threatened the head of a state. They killed our top commanders, and we were in the middle of a diplomacy. So why you are trying to use this sort of jargons that are on the contrary of what's happening right now? We are on self-defense under Article 51 of the UN Charter, and we are going to continue this self-defense until the aggressor take the lesson that it cannot just attack another country, another sovereign country, with or without, knowing the European countries. But you are just telling me that there is an new international law.
So
a genocidal regime of Israel can attack a sovereign state, and then you are talking that we are striking each other?
Dr. Khatibzadeh, what if President Trump decides to take the United States into the war? Iran has said all options are on the table. What do you mean by that?
Look, we were on diplomacy. We are on diplomacy. And but until this aggression continues, under this bombardment, under these brutal atrocities that is happening against my country, nobody can go for negotiation. Look, the moment that this aggression stops, of course diplomacy is the first option. But now what we are seeing and what we are hearing from Americans, that they are thinking of getting involved in this war. We think that this war is not American war, but if they would like to get into this war, President Trump will be remembered forever for a war that it was not his war, but dragged in. And this will be a quagmire, and this will be hell for the whole region.
But isn't this a big risk? Isn't this a big risk for Iran? Iran is no match for the world's biggest military power, and the people of Iran are already suffering enormously.
Look, when there is a foreign aggression, there is a national unity, and what you are seeing right now is this exactly national unity which is happening inside and outside Iran. This is not a matter of who has the superiority in hard power. This is a matter of resistance. We are going to resist. We are going to resist. Of course, diplomacy, please. It has been always an option. We were on diplomacy, and President Trump knows better than anybody else that we were on the verge of reaching to an agreement. And one of the debates right now is that Netanyahu, because of knowing that we are on the verge of reaching to an agreement, tried to sabotage this. I don't want to make judgment right now, but President Trump knows better than anybody else, because Mr. Witkoff was reporting to him. And Mr. Witkoff was, when we were in Oslo together, you remember, Liz?
Yes.
He was sending us messages that he would like to meet us, either in Oslo or either in Muscat.
But let's be clear, Khatibzadeh, because Sergeant, President Trump says there was a deal you could have accepted, and you didn't do a deal. Is there a deal that you would accept that would avoid the war?
Look, there is a negotiation going on. When there is a deal, it means that there should be a package of, give and take. There was nothing on the table. There were, some text exchanged between us, and we were on negotiating some parts. I'm not here to talk about all the details. I can brief you when you have time about all the details. But even President Trump knows, and still, that Mr. Witkoff is sending, our Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi some messages back and forth. And he knows also when you are not on air, you can talk to them and to understand that this genocidal apartheid regime of Israel has sabotaged diplomacy for many years. You remember that from 1996.
Could we just be clear, Doctor?
Prime Minister was always arguing that Iran was on the verge of achieving nuclear bomb, which was totally fabricated, unsubstantiated, claims. And just today, IAEA chief said that they had no evidence that Iran has ever converted any or attempted anything toward nuclear bomb.
But Dr. Khatibzadeh, you are enriching. The IAEA says you are enriching uranium to 60%, which isn't necessary for a civilian nuclear program. And many are asking, why are you enriching so high? It underlines an intention to move up to 90% and to develop a nuclear bomb.
Look, you cannot start a war based on speculation or intention.
But there is a concern. There is a concern.
Look. There is a new international law that out of concern without any United Nations mandate, some aggression can start. This is nonsense. Look, this is the Israeli has attacked as a non-NPT member, possessing nuclear warheads. Iran has no warhead, has no nuclear warhead. Iran is member of NPT. IAEA supervision is happening right now inside Iran, and they attack our military plus our nuclear sites. This is very, very, very bad move by by Israelis, and IAEA and other international organizations didn't condemn that. And this is a very, very dangerous move, because from now on, everybody is welcome to attack another under IAEA supervision peaceful nuclear site.
Dr. Koch, what
is happening is very dangerous move by Israelis, and unfortunately Europeans and Americans do not understand this dangerous move can easily spread to this region and can easily start a new quagmire in our region.
Can we be clear? The messaging you are getting from high-level Americans, are they proposing that talks be held somewhere?
Look, what we are hearing from Europeans is that they would like to get back to diplomacy on ministerial level. They are going to have a E3 plus EU High Representative meeting in Geneva, and we are very much happy that finally they understand that they have to come and talk on the table at the table about issues at hand. And for Americans, we have constantly sending this message until these atrocities is going on and until this attacks is happening on Iranian soil. Our hospitals in different cities have been targeted, and nuclear scientists have been killed. We cannot start any negotiation with them.
But do you have an expectation that the meeting in Geneva tomorrow could help to de-escalate?
Look, what I can say that we are up to diplomacy, and we have been always up to diplomacy. We accepting the proposal by E3 and High Representative of EU to meet in Geneva is another sign that we always welcome that, and we very much hope that this line continues. But it is different from the self-defense which is happening right now. My country is under attack, under aggression, and the aggressor should take the lesson. They are killing my people, and we are going to resist. And this is a very holy resistance, which is happening right now against the atrocities and aggression which is happening against my people.
So, what do you say to the people of Israel who are running to the bomb shelters now, who hear the supreme leader saying "death to Israel," that he wants to destroy Israel? They see your nuclear program. Is that Iran's ambition, that you do want to destroy Israel?
These are your list. We do respect you. These are all your words, not our leader's word. Look, what my leader said. We were not on the verge of any military attack or any hard move against anybody. Everybody knows inside, including the people of occupied Palestine, that this war was unprovoked, unnecessary. It started by Prime Minister of Israel against my people. They attacked our top commanders. They killed on the first night 63 children of Iranians, innocent bloods on our soil, and we have no option. And by the way, leaks, we are very pinpointing all the military intelligence and Mossad bases inside Israel.
There's civilians, Mr. Hadid, civilians are dying on both sides.
No, Liz.
Civilians are dying on both sides.
Liz, try to be not biased. They are intercepting our missiles, and because
Khatibzadeh.
If the factual is that who started this war. If the fact is mattering, who is possessing nuclear warhead? Who is not member of NPT? Israel or Iran? Israel is not member of NPT, Non-Proliferation Treaty. Israel possesses hundreds of nuclear warheads. Israel is attacking all countries in this region. Israel has started many blood wars. If Israel started this aggression, these are facts, and we are on self-defense. We are going to resist, and this is a holy resistance. We are very much united, and we are going to give a lesson to the aggressor. And people inside occupied Palestine should know that they are paying the cost of this adventurism and brutalism, which has been started by their Prime Minister.
Is there any reassurances you can give to the people of Iran who are fleeing for their lives now? They want this war to end, but they will hear you saying that you just want to continue for more war.
Look, we are not. Look, the moment that they stop these atrocities, the moment that they accept that the aggressor accepts its responsibility, the moment that we can the whole international community punish the Israelis because of this aggression and make sure that this aggression is not going to happen again. And they put an end to the impunity of Israelis. I think is the moment that the whole region can move on.
So would you confirm then that that Iran has no intention of developing a nuclear bomb? Because that is the big question being asked in capitals around the world.
Look, if we wanted to have a nuclear bomb, we would have had it no way before. Look, you ask why Iran is reaching, 60%. We were in the JCPOA. You remember
you don't need 60%. You don't need 60% for a civilian program.
Do you want an answer to your question or not? The answer to your question, we were just, enriching 3.67. We were in the JCPOA, nuclear talks. We signed an agreement with P5+1. President Trump came to the office and withdrew from the JCPOA altogether. Then punished Iran and punished all those who were abided by this agreement between Iran and P5+1. Then Iran started to enrich higher in response to this unilateral, unlawful, extraterritorial sanctions imposed on Iran. And we said, and we are going to say again on air, that Iran has never developed any program for nuclear, or weaponization of its peaceful nuclear activities, and Iran was not going to do that. If Iran wanted to do that, there would have enough reasons, including these atrocities and this new aggression on Iran. But again, once again, we said on air that never, ever Iran is going to develop any nuclear weapon, and Iran is not going to convert its peaceful nuclear activities toward any weaponization.
Thank you.
Period. Bottom line.
We're coming to the end of the program. Dr. Khatibzadeh, thank you very much for giving us your time from Tehran on this very, very crucial moment for your country and indeed for the...
We can see, end of this atrocity soon, and everybody come to this conclusion that they have to put an end for the impunity that Israelis are benefiting, which is not very fair. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Lise, very, very interesting to listen to the Deputy Foreign Minister of Iran there talking to you. A lot we could pick up on. Let me focus in, first of all, on the messaging. He was talking about backdoor messaging from the United States, which he said was confusing compared to the public messaging from President Trump. But did you get a sense there that there are these back channels of communication and conversation still going on between the US and Iran?
Yes, it does seem as though, he mentioned that there is this back channel, and but he didn't seem clear on, there was, as you said, when I asked him again, was it that they want you to talk? And he made it clear they are ready to talk, but only when the war ends. And even though President Trump has said there was a deal on the table to be done, he said that they weren't quite there yet, which is what we understood as well. So obviously a lot of the belligerence that we do expect and defiance from Iran, even in this moment, which is fraught with risk. He did mention that there are these talks in Geneva tomorrow, perhaps some hope there, but they know that they're not the main decision makers in Brussels and Geneva.